Hello. Um, this is the makeup training for grief and loss and how we should properly respond to those things. This is a really important training because, grief and loss is a really serious thing for these kids who have parents with cancer or parents who've passed away from it. And so be attentive, try and learn from it. First, I just want you guys to think about what is our number one responsibility when it comes to helping campers with grief and loss. We think that the most important thing that we can do for them is create an emotionally safe place. And most things that you're probably thinking of relate back to making an emotionally safe place for them. Helping people deal with grief and loss, we can be friends with them. That helps create an emotionally safe place. If we listen to them when they talk to us, that helps create an emotionally safe place. Basically anything you can do to help build them and uplift them is going to help create this emotionally safe place for them. And so I'm going to talk really briefly about things that we shouldn't do when helping people cope with grief and loss, and then we'll go over some things that we should do. And so first, what not to do. None of us are trained or certified to counsel or deliver therapy. Our purpose is not to do those things. If a camper comes to you seeking help for something that requires counseling or therapy, you don't give that to them. We have a mental health professional at the camp. His camp name is MHP. That makes it really easy, mental health professional. And you can go to him and receive help from him. As well as if someone says something about hurting themselves or about hurting other people, even if it's kind of in a joking manner, don't treat that lightly. We'd really recommend that you go to the MHP for that as well. You have to. Excuse me. Thank you, Kibbs. Kibbs is here as well. You have to go to MHP. Please do, because it is important and we don't want anything bad to happen in camp. So those are things to not do. Don't counsel, don't give therapy, use MHP. He's a great guy. So the things that we should do, there's three main things. They're the thinking task, the emotional task, and the growing task. Up here on the board. And so first one is the thinking task. Oh, right there. Sorry, I can't see this video very well. So this is just understanding what has happened to the campers and helping the campers understand their situation. And it's important to recognize that every camper is going to be in a different place. Everybody is a different age, they have different siblings, they have different family situations, there's different cancer that affects them. There's different cancer, death, illness, hospital experiences, etc., right? And so our job when it comes to the thinking task is to listen, to provide positive and social support, and acknowledge what they understand about their parent or guardian situation. And it is not our job to teach them what cancer is, or how it's diagnosed, or give our opinion on things like that, or try to correct their ideas or beliefs. We should be there to listen and support. Be aware that their feelings and their experiences are just as real for them as yours are for you. And so I guess I'll ask a couple questions, just spend a second thinking about it. You can pause the video. How do you differentiate between sympathy and empathy? Pause. All right, so sympathy and empathy, dang, Puns explained it really well today. I wish you guys could have been there. Actually, kids?
Sure. Okay.
Hello.
So, basically, if you've ever seen Brene Brown, there is this video that she shows, and there is a couple animals, and there's this fox that falls in a hole, and the fox is in the hole, and this bear comes along, and he crawls down in the hole, and he talks to the fox, and he says, I'm going to stay with you. I know it's scary to fall in the hole. I've fallen in the hole before, but I'm here if you need me. And that's more of empathy. It's being there for people, understanding what they're feeling, just being there for them to talk to, not necessarily trying to solve the problem, just letting them know that that's a person that they have. And then sympathy, there's like this deer that comes along, and he looks in the hole and he's like, "You guys want a snack?" And then they're like, "No," and he's like, "Okay," and he's like, "That sucks," and he leaves. So sympathy is more like you acknowledge and like you feel sorry for them, but you're also trying to like solve the problem and like get past it. Whereas empathy, you allow them to feel their emotions.
Wow. Thanks, Kim. You explained that way better than I was going to. One other question. What are the best techniques for listening to campers and their experiences? Think about that for a sec. So when it comes to listening to campers, it's really important to not think about what you're going to be saying next while the camper is talking to you, especially if they're sharing something that's important to them. Just listen with your heart and don't worry about what you're going to say. And if listen to understand. Thank you, Kibbs. If you listen to understand, then you'll know what to say. And just be open and friendly and loving, and it'll help people feel like they can open up to you and listen, and speak as you listen. So the emotional task, the recording is backwards from what I see, is split into 3 different parts. First is words. It's important that we create an emotionally safe place by the words that we use. There are a couple times at camp that are set apart so that we can use words in particular for an emotionally safe place, and those are cabin chat and empowerment. If you haven't heard about those much yet, cabin chat happens every night in our cabins with our campers, and it's just a time you can ask questions, get to know each other, sometimes about more serious topics, but more often than not just about something fun. And then empowerment happens once a week at camp, and it's an opportunity for everyone to share their experiences of either how cancer has affected them or how Kesem has affected them, why they do Kesem. It's a really great, emotionally uplifting time, I think. And so, along with using words for creating an emotionally safe place, do avoid using words like "I understand" and "I know what you're going through." Because even if one of us as counselors had a parent pass away from cancer, it is still a different experience than what a camper has experienced having a parent pass away from cancer. They're both really hard, but they're different experiences for everybody. And so don't say that you understand what they're going through, but say things like, "That sounds hard," or "Thanks for sharing that with me. It means a lot to me." And in that way, we can create an emotionally safe place by using words. The second thing for creating an emotionally safe place is play. Play is the work of children, and it is not frivolous or useless. Play is honestly a super important part of life. It allows kids and everyone to develop important social skills and can be really powerful on somebody's journey through grief. And so as we just play at camp, which is what we do all the time, it helps kids learn skills like leadership, communication, social boundaries, negotiation, self-expression, responsibility, sportsmanship, friendship, etc. There's a lot of things that come from play. And the third thing from this emotional task is that we can learn a lot about kids by observing what they do, oftentimes more so than what we hear them say. And so I'm going to attach a link in the bottom of this video, in the description, of of just different types of people and how they show their emotions through behavior. And please take a look at that for a moment, look over it, and how you can best help different types of people based off the behaviors that you witness them doing. And there'll probably be a question about that on a quiz in the future, so do it. And then the last task, growing, is just that campers oftentimes struggle with normalcy or feeling normal, because having a parent with cancer or a parent pass away from cancer isn't a normal thing to go through. It isn't something that anyone should have to go through. And since the demographic of these children is so small, it can feel like they're different from everyone else and that they can't grow in a normal way. And so at camp, we try and provide an environment where they can feel normal again, be kids again, and grow in these normal ways. And so just like certain things that happen at camp that are like that, people make friends, they get to try new things, they learn to show initiative, they have time to connect with each other, and they have the opportunity to be inclusive of other people as well as other people including them in what they do. And so camp's just a magical time of everybody being able to grow and be themselves and be normal. And so those are the three things that we can do: thinking and emotional and growing. Basically summed up is just listen to people, be their friends, be empathetic, don't give counseling, don't give therapy. And so just to wrap up real quick, I want you to close your eyes. I'm going to trust you're going to do that because I can't see you. And think about a time that you felt safe and happy. And once you've thought about that, were you with other people during that time? Were you outside? Were you doing something that you loved? Were you having fun? And most importantly, did you feel loved during that time? All right, you can open your eyes. At camp, our job is to create an environment of safety to overcome grief and loss. And with all the things that we've talked about, I feel like the most important thing we can do is to love. Just love each other, love the campers, and everything will just come naturally. Empathy, friendship, listening. As you love other people, those will come naturally. I'm going to attach another link in this video of a Kesem video about love. You don't have to watch it, but I highly recommend watching it. It almost puts me in tears every single time. I love it. And so what we do at Camp Kesem isn't just going to change people's lives, it gives people life because it gives people love. And so that is the best thing that we can do when helping people overcome grief and loss. Have a good day.